What made you realize there was something off about your family? When I was 7 years old, I told my mom that when I turned 18, I wanted to live in a huge mansion made of gold. Honey, people who move out are bad people, and if you ever do that, mommy and daddy will be very upset. I nodded like it was the most reasonable thing in the world, and promised to live with her forever, and I had every intention of keeping that promise, until I turned 20, and found myself sharing a room with my 2 baby nephews. I was waking up almost every night at 3 a.m. to crying, screaming, and even vomiting. So, for the first time since I was 7, I brought up the idea of moving out. I told her I could live with a friend, and I would pay for everything. She gasped loudly. It was so dramatic that you could have sworn she just found out she had 1 day left to live. How dare you! I'm not even going to entertain this! Don't even think about asking your father. You see, to my parents, moving out is a sign of betrayal. They basically think it means you're ungrateful and a horrible child. So I figured that if I proved my loyalty and then asked them again, everything would be fine. So I started working an extra 20 hours a week and giving them half of every paycheck. Still not convinced. I did all the grocery shopping, cooking, and cleaning for them. Still not convinced. I even took time off of college and work to help take care of all 7 kids living in the house. And guess what? They still weren't convinced of my gratitude and loyalty. They never even gave me a thank you for any of it. And by the time I was 23 and graduating college, I was the one who had had enough. Because not only did they not show up, but as soon as I got home, the first thing they did was make fun of me. You see, I forgot to mention their unconventional morals stretched beyond just not moving out. It's any achievement. Even convincing them to let me finish high school was a battle. So when they started calling me an office rat or Mr. Fancy Degree, I spent the night asking my buddies if they were looking for a roommate. Thankfully, one of them was, and I told my mom. She didn't say anything, just crossed her arms and walked away. Well, I moved out that same day, and I never heard from my family again, and I didn't reach out either. I wanted to make sure I had a stable life first, and it wasn't until a few months ago when I turned 31 that I finally considered reaching out. Because in that time, I had gotten an extremely beautiful and amazing fiancé, a nice car, and a very solid career, which meant I had enough money to not only pay off my parents' mortgage, but also to help contribute to a new house for them and the kids. As I wrote out the check for $200K, I felt a sense of pride, because I was finally able to give back to my family, show them how much I love them, and that's when I did something extremely crazy and reckless. I invited my entire family over for dinner. It was via email, and was the first time we had spoken in 8 years. My mom replied almost instantly, and said they'd all be attending. My heart jumped. I really thought this was going to be the moment our relationship is rebuilt. In the days leading up to it, I did everything I could to make sure it was perfect. I planned on cooking 3 homemade recipes, and even set up a little play area for the little ones. I didn't want to get my hopes too high, but as I set up, I couldn't stop fantasizing about what they might say. We loved you all along. We missed you so much. Were all things I longed to hear. So when the moment finally came, and they were at my doorstep, me and my fiancée, Ella, happily welcomed them inside. My 2 nephews came, along with my 4 nieces, 3 aunts, uncle, and my parents. Aside from some small talk, the house was pretty much silent for a while. I felt so awkward that I broke the silence by taking out the fat check and handing it to them. This is for your mortgage, and some extra to help you in the future. Oh wow! My mom was the first to speak. So you think you can just abandon your family and come back with some money like nothing ever happened? I felt that familiar pain again, like a wound being poked. I'm sorry, Mom. Sorry? Take his time. It was my dad who interrupted. Oh yeah, I'm the most ungrateful and worthless piece of crap. But hey, at least I'm sorry. He said it in a sarcastic tone to mock me. I swear I was about to start crying, but then my mom chimed back in to change the topic. She pointed to Ella before saying, I hope you're not actually with this sorry excuse for a woman. I stared at the check in my mother's hand. The smell of the freshly cooked dinners hit my nostrils. Suddenly, all my sadness and guilt was replaced with a deep, unearthing rage. I grabbed Ella's hand, shoved the adults out of the way, and walked out. We got in the car and drove around the corner. Ella wasn't upset either. In fact, she was just as angry as me. We didn't say much, but she knew I was done with them. It had been building for years. Today was just the breaking point. My reality check. I knew I couldn't ignore it, that I had to do something. I couldn't finish the story in this short video, but it gets intense. Click the link or go to my channel to watch it.